Welcome back to my terminal. So setting up a computer, at least to me, is a very cumbersome activity, and even more so when it's a daily driver. In this short series of videos, I'll show you how my workstation setup is almost automated, so the process is pretty quick and yet convenient, so that I don't have to lose my mind every time I reconfigure my daily driver. By daily drivers, I'm not referring to work computers owned by your employer, which is a topic for another day. But take for example my personal computer, on which I spend more time than I do even on my cell phone. There's so much to take care of. Also, if you're a Linux user like me, the setup is not as straightforward as it usually is for Windows. It's full of quirks here and there, and a lot of additional steps are added to the process. For a few reasons, I find a computer setup even more tedious. So to start with, activities like these, they tend to quickly make me feel overwhelmed. Now part of this is because I plan a little too much, noting down each and every trivial step, as it would make the final result any better. Then I expect things to be exactly the way I want them to be, and tolerate almost zero deviation in my plan. So the plan that's usually already so detailed, it becomes even more stressful, and then there's the fear of failure and a potential loss of the most valuable entity in this human life, which is time. Lastly, if at all the process spans across multiple sessions, the urge to drag it to the end doesn't let me sleep with peace, and focus on my other tasks also gets affected. All these factors, along with a few more, drove me to create a system in place such that I don't lose my mind every time I configure my computer from scratch. During all these years, I've performed at least two different kinds of setups. The first one is a full setup, which could either be on a new machine or a hard drive, or it could be an old machine undergoing some low-level changes in the setup, like the partition table, such that there's total data loss. This is the one I'm usually scared of, as there's much more to take care of and hence more number of things to go wrong. The other kind is the partial setup, which is a resetup utilizing a decent part of my previous setup, such that I don't lose everything and I can continue from somewhere in between by refilling the gaps on an existing setup. This is the easier of the two kinds. Since I moved out of Windows, one of the many things I loved about these Unix-like operating systems, which is Linux and Mac OS, is that everything that can be done through a graphical interface, as the normies do, can also be done through the command line. To me, the most obvious advantage of being able to do things over the command line is that one can create an automated script which, when executed, can perform the same steps as many times as required, with virtually zero error. I used this possibility of automation to convert my workstation setup nodes, which were actually spreadsheets, into a single bash script, which later on evolved into a fully fledged arrangement of scripts that can be considered as an independent program, which as of today constitutes a significant part of my .files on GitHub. We'll have a detailed look at this in just a moment. So time for some theory now, and I promise to keep it as less boring as I can. So there's no such official standard I follow in my setup scripts, but now that I think about it, I see at least 4 principles being followed very closely. To start with, it's lean. This means that not only the scripts are as dry as possible, but I've also tried to make sure that my software selection, it only includes a single software for a particular job. So if at all I find a software that can replace 2 or more others already in the list, especially if it improves the result, I shorten the list by replacing the old candidates with a new one. It also implies that I don't have a single software in the list that has no purpose in the system. The second principle is reproducible. This was in fact the primary purpose to create this entire thing, so that I can recreate my setup with minimal effort or confusion as many times as I need. This also means that every single persistent configuration change that I make on my computer needs to be done in a way that I can automate it. I shouldn't need to remember anything. The script should be capable of recreating it for me. A simple example could be changing the default user shell. The next principle is documented. So this comes from the fact that I've placed plenty of comments for my own future reference, and also a lot of times the way the scripts have been arranged, that documents much of it. All this keeps evolving just like any other computer code does. but it also represents my most current computer setup for all my primary operating systems I use across all my personal computers, which at times could have been 2 or 3, each running a different operating system. The last principle is portable. So it goes without saying that as all this is hosted on GitHub, my .files are completely portable and the setup can be executed on any computer with an internet access. So not only do I carry my installation scripts, but I also have access to the same configuration files on each of my computers. And an update is as close and simple as a git pull. As I mentioned in my earlier videos that I used to be a Windows user for 14 years until I switched to Linux in 2013. I started documenting my workstation setup on my first laptop computer, the 2010 Dell Studio 1558. It used to be a reasonably detailed spreadsheet file, briefly mentioning the items my setup comprised of. Out of all the file versions I ever created, only one file was for Windows. But as I moved to Linux, a new file got created for every Linux distribution I hopped through, and the number was obviously not small. I slowly started to introduce category as a column to group those applications and games, and I learned that you can quickly aggregate a column of cells into a single installation command that could be used to install all the applications at once. This definitely came from my younger brother, who was way ahead of me in the way he used Linux back then. At one point, I eventually started maintaining a single bash file in my github.files with the commands, so there was no need to maintain spreadsheets anymore. This arrangement also allowed me to document the commands required for other things like configuring additional package sources, and all that remained as a single file for quite a long time, until one day it all of a sudden exploded into multiple smaller files, each for its own purpose. There were at least 2 major overhauls to this project in the following years. The first one was when I switched to macOS and I wanted to make it work on 2 different operating systems at once. Then it almost stayed the same way with minor updates here and there until my turning back to Linux in late 2019, where at one point there were 4 different operating systems supported at once. Now, for obvious reasons, the only 2 to remain there today is Arch and macOS, just in case. I keep mentioning Linux for everyone repeatedly, and also the later half of 2019, which was the start of my return to Linux for the second time. And that was actually the time I got to learn more about Linux than I ever thought I would. I looked at Bash from a completely fresh perspective and started applying my learning at various projects of mine, including this one. What this project actually is, it's way outside the scope of this video, but you can find the link in the description and check it out yourself if you're interested to know anyway. I never had a proper introduction to shell scripting before, and as far as I remember, my first shell script was indeed a simple packages installation script for my Linux setup. Needless to say, I started improving my setup scripts and soon realized that most of the scripts that I was writing could be reused. Around the same time, due to my failure of being able to run a regular Linux distribution on my Dell desktop due to the incompatibility of super old hardware with the latest X server packages, I literally had to learn setting up a command line Linux for graphical use. Now, more configuration meant adding more code to my setup scripts, and all this extra code was a perfect candidate for my library of functions for Linux setup, and this led me to create Twiner. Now, Twiner, as I call it, it's a collection of bash scripts for configuring Linux. It can either be used as a standalone program or otherwise as a library to build your own. Currently, only 3 major flavors of Linux are supported, which is Debian or Ubuntu, and Fedora, and Arch, of course. Now these, along with the derivative distributions from these major distributions, they cover the greater part of Linux community, at least for the non-veterans of Linux. I didn't want to make this video any longer, so in the next video we'll walk through a demo of how I perform more than 90% of my Linux configuration through a prompt-based set of scripts written using Twiner. That's all I have for this video, so let me know if you like this video through either the like and unlike buttons or through your thoughts, feedbacks and ideas in the comments. Thanks for watching it till the end. May the maker watch over you. See you in the next video.